You know what's very interesting, funny, strange, and go fit? Twitch, TikTok, and OnlyFans. From what happened in the past due to all of this stuff going on Twitch, TikTok, and OnlyFans, all this was inevitable. Going on 30 years, yes, 30 years. Can you believe it? 30 years, 3-0. We had a little something of worldwide voyeurism that wasn't Playboy, wasn't Sports Illustrated, and definitely not the Sears catalog. But Girls Gone Wild from Joe Francis, who built an empire of spring break voyeurism from drunken and out of control teens, young adults, and took the whole world by storm. Thankfully, it's all up in the winds now and for the last 12 years, but he built this back in 1998 and up to 2011 with over 300 videos. Yes, 300. This is Sparta! Now, if you're in my age range group of generations, pushing 40, at 40 or over 40, or even born before 1994, you know full well what went on with those Girl Gone Wild commercials, advertisements, and video. Fast forward to 2016 and became popular, well, known to the lexicon in 2019, TikTok. Now, before TikTok, it was Twitch, originally in 2011, but became popular in 2014. Also fading away into the winds and void with Joe Francis empires or Girls Gone Wild. Thank you, Jesus. But don't celebrate just yet. We still have Twitch in its prime with TikTok and OnlyFans began in 2016, popularized well during the COVID lockdown of 2020, and pretty much Girls Gone Wild, the home editions. With girls once again going wild, this time inside their bedroom, inside their bedroom, the husband's bedroom, because they all married and they got children, but they be lying saying that they're single. Yeah, right. They all got rings on their fingers, so guys, you keep on, the fault is on you there. You know, that word simp, yeah, I believe that 100%, and that's what you are. So it's possible that the old apple, that old saying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, because them girls in those Girl Gone Wild videos are either in their 40s or pushing 50s or 60, which means all those TikTok and Only thoughts are their daughters. So it's like Hydra. But even during the Girls Gone Wild trend, there was television shows with respectable and admirable stations like ABC, NBC, BET, making sleazy shows that are pretty much just like the Girls Gone Wild with heels. This show was canceled. One of them was canceled, and the other ones are still going, like the effing Energizer Bunny, and they're still going and going and going and going and going. And these effing Energizer Bunnies that once was still, that's now canceled is Desperate Housewives, which is literally Girls Gone Wild, White Picket Fence Suburbia Edition. Shows that are still on the air. Those Energizer Bunnies are the Real Housewives of, you name it, your city. Could be Beverly Hills, could be DC, could be Atlanta, could be whoever, wherever. They're there, bottling it up and making women look like nothing but sexy. Another one that's staying in the black community, Love and Hip Hop, because every single because he who owns the media controls the narrative and agenda, and that is what the whole world sees with us black people and community. So why are you still watching that garbage? Imagine if the same media showed it white people like that, Jewish people like that, Asians like that, Hispanics like that. What do you think will happen? Do you think that the whole world will think of them as being nothing but this trifling, arrogant, uncouth, ratchet, untrustworthy, terrible, inconsiderate, loud, abrasive? And the one that started all this, it was the queens of the sting, the Counts of Monte Thottos, The ones, the onlys, those Kardashians. Also paving the way for, and with these rappers, social media personalities like Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Mia Khalifa, Black China, Bella Thorne, and now their daughters are following suit, becoming thoughts on TikToks and OnlyFans. Why? Because sex sells, and idiot men out there, actually grown up boys, you continue to prove their point with that. Men, fathers, daddies, quit with the BS and stop fronting. You all need to stop trying to be all overprotective, knowing full well you went after the same back in the late 90s up to 2011 and still now after and when you lust after and smashed it, those thoughts, those girls gone wild. And then you got your teenage daughter doing the same thing now. And the old saying, you reap what you sow. You continue to chase after these types, and you wonder why you end up fleeing this nation or end up paying child support. You dudes forgot that you never ever change a whore to a housewife, and you don't make a house pet with a wild dragon. You didn't think with your head meat, and you went forth thinking with your package meat, and now TikTok and OnlyFans are the new girls gone wild. Just as guilty, responsible, liable, and add this trend of whoredom. Fellas, think about it for a second and more. Can you really blame thoughts? Can you really blame them for doing all that? Can you? You can't blame them because every time you look at them, you're giving them attention. Then you simps give them money too. Instead of chasing a big butt in a thong who looks like a Kardashian, a Cardi B, a Megan Thee Stallion, you miss out on great diamond opportunities like your lady friend, next door neighbor, or to a safe, responsible, safe, and respectful degree, your co-worker. But I wouldn't recommend dating nobody on the job. So, I mean, that is like a 1 in a million. So, but it's up to you. But just think about it, okay? Because you're on a job site, your relationship should not be a part of that. That's just me. Yeah, those women who don't have Kardashian, Bella Thorne, Cardi B, Mia Khalifa, Black China, Megan Thee Stallion body types or their clout. So they sadly end up alone. They be asexual and they be shunned away like outcasts and pariahs. And then they end up and you wonder why they hate men in general, which leads up to a generalization. No fault to them. I don't blame them. And men stop blaming them too when you know full well as you didn't chase after the big butts and the thongs, and then she wouldn't be the way she is now. A fallen woman comes from a broken and corrupted and vile man. Yes. Now, real, honest, uplifting, positive, and sweet women have to intentionally must endure and compete with these thoughts because who's getting all the attention, who's getting all the likes, who's getting all the clout, who's getting all the views, who's getting all the money, who's getting all the donations. Because at the end of the day, going to Bible territory, God made woman as a helpmeet to man, not his sex toy. Yes, those women who wants to be sex toys have at it. Just men, just stop watching them. Let them be alone because silence is golden and misery is nothing without company. Yes. Now, real, honest, uplifting, positive, and sweet women have to intentionally must endure and compete with these thoughts because who's getting all the attention, who's getting all the likes, who's getting all the clout, who's getting all the views, who's getting all the money, who's getting all the donations. Because at the end of the day, going to Bible territory, God made woman as a helpmeet to man, not his sex toy. Yes, those women who wants to be sex toys have at it. Just men, just stop watching them. Let them be alone because silence is golden and misery needs company. So here's to you fine women, fine sisters, and fine mothers who's sadly, unfortunately, drafted into this war of thoughts and have to deal with these thirsty and dusty walking packaged meats left and after these big butt and a thongs, twerking on social media or sitting down with their cleavage exposed to the world like it's just nothing. Making you all feel bad, making you all feel ashamed of your own body, making you all just feel like you're worthless and you're nothing. Here's to you all. You all keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on being true women. Because you know what? You're going to find a real man one day, and he's going to say the same thing about those thoughts. He's like, you know what? If a woman has to expose herself to get attention, she ain't nothing. Now I'm going to get on to this passport bro movement that's been getting a lot of buzz and praise on social media, because they think that all women, Western civilization women, are all feminist indoctrinates and all that, and they love to Me Too and they love to believe all women. Well, personally, I think the passport bro movement are cowardly grown boys with money. A real man stands his ground, corrects his mistakes, repents, and makes right, not flee and make a new mess. Now, if the woman doesn't want to be in a relationship, or she's quote unquote trifling, ratchet, stink, or bewitched, leave her be. Don't force her and don't move on her. Find another woman who isn't like her or them. If you don't like to be generalized, don't generalize women. She, whether she's a feminist or not, has every right to choose to be solitude. Don't be a jerk. No more okay's passport bros. Now every single woman in the Western civilization are, once again, Me Too, believe all women disciples and hates all men. I hate that stigma too, because you know what passport bros? Imagine there was a passport sis movement. Now, how can we break and eliminate this trend of girls going wild and thoughterry? Real love, real support, real communication. Listening and listen much more than this talking. Real dedication, real fellowship, real trial and error. Because remember, marriages are a marathon, not a sprint. That explains all these divorces and all that, because they thinking it's a sprint and not a marathon. You build by the new day. Same with friendships to a smaller degree. You build on them. Men, you be a bulwark to who you're dating. Women should never ever obey a man just because he's a man. Only if that man is following what he's supposed to be doing and be. She will feel much more comfortable and let you know to lead the way. It is supposed to be a natural, not artificial, and for darn sure not by force. So man, don't ever force a woman into obeying you. Women knows and feels when a man steps up to the plate. She smiles and feels wholesome. She feels complete. You know exactly that feeling and emotion is real, man. You know it. It makes me smile right now, and it will make you smile too. When a woman knows that he's not playing around. He means business. He is standing on solid grounds. Women knows, and now also women knows when men are weak too, and they just as much they know they're strong. Now with the shortage of real men in society, women don't feel strong men. Women don't feel that men are standing on solid grounds and they're not taking care of business, but just fleeing to other countries. So women has to be strong, independent, and wear the boots. This same argument is, well, she wants me to have the 666. She wants me to have 6 figures in a bank account. She wants me to have a 6-pack. And she wants me to be over 6 feet tall. This is how I will respond to her. I will say, it was nice knowing you and goodbye. Continue to live that fantasy. Because that's the reason why you got a lot of divorces going on. That's the reason why there is no communication in the homes. That's why there's no fellowship in the homes. That's why there's no trial and error in the homes. That's why all this is a straight up sprint and not a marathon. So with that 666 crap, which is the mark of the beast, the mark of Satan, let him go, fellas. Let her be by herself. Now here's what everybody, man and woman, should require in a relationship or a date. Just be you and listen. Women, if they want a big butt and a thong and a smile, some thought on TikTok, leave him be to his fantasy, because he ain't nothing. Yeah, bros and dudes. Ask her, does she has a 6-pack or something like that? Or does she have 6 figures in her bank account? Is she 6 feet tall? If she says no to either one of them, then ask her, why does she want the 666? Because saying you need to be the 666 to be a man, then what requirements do you need to be a woman? Going back into biblical territory, God commanded men to do what with his woman? To respect, honor, duty, and growth with her. You thirsty and dusty guys know full well you ain't ever, ever, never, ever, never, ever, ever getting those merits from a Kardashian, a Cardi B, a Megan Thee Stallion, some thought on TikTok OnlyFans. You're never going to get it with them. You never, ever, never, ever, never, ever, never. But you continue to fuel them with the money, with the clout, with the clicks, with the views, and they just continue to provide their services. So why be mad at that? If I was you, I'd start funding and fueling them, and rather than insulting them and then belittling them, because you know what? A whoremonger is a whore. Ephesians 5:25-28. This can be for single men as well. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it, that he may sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word, that he might present it unto himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. So sought man to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his own wife loveth himself. Let's go back to Ephesians, same chapter, but let's go to the 22 and 24. Wives, submit yourselves unto your husbands as unto the Lord. Now, men, let's go back up to the 25s. If you love the Lord, you know full well you wouldn't do Christ harm or mistreat or abuse or insult. So why are you harming, mistreating, abusing, insulting women if you're supposed to love her like you love the church and love the Christ who gave himself for it? And also to love their wives as your own body. And so again, why are you doing this? And you wouldn't use her will against yours while twisting and corrupting God's verse or his body or his temple or her temple. Otherwise, you do not love them, because that's not loving, that's not giving, that is full on pride and taking away. Now, verse 23 in Ephesians chapter 5. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. 24. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be their own husbands in everything. Now, this goes both ways, and this is explaining why in this nation is on the brink of non-existence. Besides the deception, destruction, desperation, diversion, and division, we have this new pandemic that is present, the infertility pandemic. God's closing the womb, ladies and gentlemen. Futures and new generations aren't being born, and baby boomers, sadly and unfortunately, even Gen Xers and millennials are passing away or taking their own lives. Look what's going on in both China and Japan. And why all this is going on? Pretty much man doesn't love the Christ and became the thing that God hates. In both Old and New Testament of the Bible, God's judge held accountable and swiftly got at the men a lot much more and well before God would ever even judge a woman. Let's be real here. The Old Testament and New Testament, God pointed at Adam. He didn't point it at Eve. He did not in Genesis. He said, Adam, where art thou, wife? He didn't say, Eve, what do you do? No. And God goes after the men. He went after Lot. He went after Moses. So men, that's why God pointed you as the leader, because you're supposed to take responsibilities, accountabilities. You can't be the boss and then don't want to pay the cost, because then you're not doing your role as a man. And then the woman is left with nothing. She's left with wearing the boots instead of wearing the sandals and the heels, because the man isn't doing his role, or he's polluting and twisting it, thinking that the woman is a sex toy or something that he can beat on. That's why God made men stronger than women. That's why God made women to help meet, not men to help meet. That's the whole reason and purpose why God made man first, and man is the head of the family, of the unit, of the nations. We're given the responsibilities, duties, leadership, while under the marching orders of the foundation, the book of life, the Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, the Father, the Godhead. Any man who doesn't follow them and always wants to be, once again, the king boss CEO every day, always, they're just grown up boys. They're not leaders. They're pathetic. They're weak. They're insolent. They're trifling, and they're not worth wasting your time on ever again. Women, stay far, far away from. Well, continue to stay far, far away from them. And sadly and unfortunately, as men, we should apologize for you all to being strong, independent. Where what should it be is, I'm a man. I need to step up to the plate. I need to follow God's true. I truly need to follow God's word instead of just using it for my own purposes and twisting God's words. That's why, once again, God made men stronger, faster, smarter, willed, and capable. A broken home comes from a broken man who created that broken family because he's a deadbeat loser. Now, man is supposed to be the bulwark and foundation, while the woman is the nursery and the supporter. Single moms must sadly be all four of them, while the man is out chasing some big butt in the thong and end up looking like Nick Cannon, Future, and Kanye West, or these thirsty, dusty dudes on social media and the passport bros. And about to go wrap this up and close this book up and throw in the towel. What a journey. Hopefully there's light at the end of the tunnel of this trend and men can become men again. So we can take the load off of our women so they can rest and relax once again and teach our future and girls to be Proverbs 31, verse 10 through 31. And finally put an end to this girls gone wild in trend. This now concludes the video and hope that you enjoyed and thank you for stopping by and please give this video likes, share this video, comment down below, and until next time, peace, love, and happiness. Happy watching!